Have you ever heard of 5x5? Well, certainly in the title you will have. Or perhaps 3x5? Or starting strength? I'm sure you have. Maybe you've also run these programs themselves. And if you have not, 5x5 is basically an exercise scheme where you do 5 sets of 5 reps for every single exercise. And in this video, I'll tell you exactly why 5x5 is terrible for muscle growth. So to begin, 5x5 is a static rep range. Every single set you want to shoot for 5 reps. And the thing is, static rep ranges lead to injuries or sandbagging. Sandbagging meaning that you're training too easy. The thing is that you will get tired throughout a workout. I mean, you get tired throughout the day. You're more energetic at the start of the day than at the end of the day. It's intuitive, right? You will not nearly be as fresh as at the start of a workout as compared to the end of a workout. And that applies within sets of an exercise. You'll be the most fresh at the beginning of an exercise rather than at the end of it. And the thing is, the 5x5 expects you to have enough juice to get 5 reps on that last set, when it's supposed to be challenging all throughout. So if you think about it, with the 5x5, your first set is supposed to be challenging. Okay, that's fine. But your last set's also supposed to be challenging, and you're supposed to get 5 reps for that. And so if the first set's already challenging enough, you won't be able to get 5 reps on the last set unless the beginning wasn't actually challenging and you were just sandbagged. And the thing is, intense training beats non-intense training for muscle growth every single time. You need intense training for muscle growth. That is absolutely necessary. Let's just hypothetically say that you could get 5 reps on every single set, and every single set was stimulatory, it was challenging, it was butt clenching. Then what happens if you move up in weight? You aren't going to be able to get 5 reps again for every single set. And that goes against the rep scheme. And so you try again and again. Maybe you succeed, but there's a limit to that. You can't always just keep any weight and then always getting 5 reps on every single set. It's just not possible. The second thing is that your only way of progression is by increasing the weight. There's no rep range that you can use to add reps. It's only by increasing weight. And the thing is, you can't always add weight. You will plateau so hard. You'll plateau so hard from just adding weight. It will not work. And even before that, by chasing weight, your form will get sloppier and sloppier. You want to put on more and more weight because, more weight equals more muscle growth. Because that's what this program is teaching you. The more weight you slap onto the bar to do your 5x5, the more muscle growth you have. But that's not true. Unlike double progression, which uses reps and weight, or triple, which uses sets, reps, and weight, these allow for much better progression. They limit your plateaus, and in general will lead you to more muscle growth. And I've alluded to this before, but the 5x5 teaches you that weight moved equals muscle growth, which I've already said is not true. You can have short arms, short legs, and deadlift 600 pounds and still be like a twig. Maybe not exactly a twig, but you can still be pretty thin, as long as you have extremely good leverages. That shows that muscle and strength are not completely related. They correlate, of course, but they're not completely related. And you can ask, why? Well, why do all powerlifters look so big? Because they train intensely. They train hard. But bodybuilding is not their sport. Bodybuilding is a second thought, an afterthought. For powerlifters, lifting into 3 lifts is their main sport. It's their main focus. And if you look at most powerlifters, their bodies are not aesthetic, unless they also train in bodybuilding. Now, if you take a pure powerlifter, they will not have very aesthetic physiques. It'll be like a spider physique. Big torso, big legs, small arms. So much of YouTube fitness right now is taken up by powerlifters giving bodybuilding advice, but what they're really doing is just giving powerlifting advice and saying it's for bodybuilding, but it's not. Because the two are different. The two have different goals. Bodybuilding is to build the body. Powerlifting is to chase numbers. Bodybuilding uses numbers. Powerlifting's goal is numbers. That's the difference. So perhaps you're convinced from this video that 5x5 is actually terrible. Then what should you do instead? First of all, use rep ranges instead. Rep ranges are so much better than static reps because they account for the fatigue that you will get from each set. For bodybuilding, rep ranges are your friend. They are your best friend. So if you were to still go for low reps, instead of a 5x5, you could do a 5x3-2-5. For example, you might get on your first set 5 reps, and then 4, and then 4, and then 3, and then 3. You would still be in the rep range. You're still good to go. But it accounts for the fatigue that you build up. Whereas with the 5x5, you've got that same rep scheme. You need to go down in weight. But because you're using rep range, you don't need to. And you can still progress because you're adding reps to your sets. And then you progress with weight. So all of this and more is explained in my book that you can purchase in the description below. And with that, we'll see ya.